Good evening, America. Welcome back to another episode of Warrior Wednesday. We absolutely appreciate you coming in and hanging with us tonight. Um, you guys are in for a treat, um, bringing you the stories that I said I was going to do when I first started this Warrior Wednesdays. I want you all to understand that our guest tonight, Joey Polk, he's a good friend of the Girl Dad official, James. And it's good to have him tonight. Today, we're gonna hear his story about service, sacrifices that he's made, and his success later on in life, and living through the adversity of what he's experienced and what he went through. The warrior experience in combat for everyone is different. Many of the stories are the same with different circumstances, but it's all connected to one another. So I wanted to bring him on tonight so that you guys can hear his story because he's got one hell of a story to tell, and I think you guys are in for a hell of a story. So hold on to your straps and whatnot because it is going to be a doozy tonight. Um, I'm going to let him introduce himself, and then we'll do a little bit of a Q&A. Maybe a little bit later in the show, we'll talk about some military stuff that has been going on and whatnot, and get his opinion on it, um, and whatnot. And the girl dad always has an opinion about something, so I'm sure he'll have one, even if he doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about. Um, he'll figure it out because he's a pretty sharp dude. Without further ado, let's bring in Joey Polk and James, the girl dad official. Joey, thanks for coming and spending time with us tonight. We appreciate you. You know, coming here to tell your story. What we like to do here on Warrior Wednesdays is I like that one of the things why I started it was to try to bring veterans on to talk, just essentially to talk their stories, talk about what they've been through, where they came from and whatnot, and how they are where they are right now. And you have been through some serious stuff, but you have managed to weather the storm, and you continue to weather it every day. And anytime I see you and or I've talked to you, briefly, you had a smile on your face, and you were still living life, man. And it's absolutely good to see. Many of our brothers and sisters who have been through what you have, either didn't are no longer with us or they're having a hard time in life. So I'm just glad that you're with us, man, and I'm glad you're here today to tell your story. James, love you too, brother. Thanks for setting this up. Absolutely appreciate it, man.
Love you too.
Joey, so let's talk, brother. Start where you're from, man. Let everybody know, where you're from and, how you know this knucklehead down below us.
Yeah, well, I'm 40 years old now, just turned 40, big 4-0. Grew up in North County, San Diego, Vista Oceanside community. Met this knucklehead in high school, wrestling actually,
Yep.
and just kind of stayed in touch over the years. And after I got hurt and came home from the war and everything, he was one of the first friends to reconnect with me and start, welcome me back to the new normal life, I guess, so to say.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's good to have the people back home that didn't forget us, right? Like, uh that when I came home, I ran into a friend who thought she had heard that I got wasted in Iraq, man. And she absolutely broke down and was like beside herself, man, because she had thought that I got fucking pasted overseas, man. And somebody told her, don't know who. I was like, who the fuck told you that? I was like, if it didn't come from my family telling people, like, it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, my family would have told some of our friends in our circle that were closer to me than she was. And they would have passed that information on and whatnot. Uh, so she was, man, she was so beside herself. But she'd written me a couple of times as being a good friend that she is. A couple other friends wrote me too while I was out there. So it was good to have that for me at least coming back and just having not only my familial support network, but like a friend, friends who like we've kind of been through it in life, but not like what you and I experienced overseas. So out of high school, did you go straight into the military? Did you do some college? What'd you do?
I tried college, tried construction, tried warehouse, tried to do the thing that I could do the most without having to go to like a full university because I knew that wasn't in my path. And I don't know, just kind of sat down and looked in the mirror and thought about what I should do and how I should do it. And the military was the best path for me.
And what year? Around what year was this?
So I joined the Army November 2004 as a
Oh
military police
shit.
officer.
Oh, so I was in country in Iraq when you signed up.
Oh, no shit.
I was almost done. I was almost done with my tour in Iraq because we finished right at the end of December, coming into. I was literally home on leave for New Year's, around New
Yeah,
Year's.
so
Yeah,
was I, but just on
yeah.
a little Christmas break from basic training.
Right, right, right. Um, yeah. So sign up in 2004. What was your MOS in the military, man?
31
MP, right? You
Bravo.
said, all right. So
Yeah.
you said military police. So how long was AI? Well, we did AIT. Actually, just so you know about me, I was actually in the Marine Corps out of high school. And I had a break in service. And then 9/11 happened, and by 2003 I actually was trying to get into NYPD, so I decided to join the National Guard. I signed in, swore back in, right? A week later, I report to my unit. I was like, I need uniforms. I need to find out what I need to do. I've had a break in service. They may want to send me for some training. My first sergeant was the only one in the office. So I walk in and I'm just like, he knew exactly who I was. Okay. He's like, are you so and so? And I was like, I am top. What do you need? And he was just like, I need you to fill this paperwork out because I got to send you for some training because of your break in service. We got our warning orders. We're headed to Iraq. And I was like, oh shit, okay. I was like, I
Yep.
guess I kind of stepped in it. And then next thing you know, we're, training up and everything. We're doing desert training up at Fort Drum, where the 10th mountain is at. All right. And it was absolutely fucking freezing up there in the winter. Got cold weather injuries to my feet and stuff like that. Continued to drive on. And then went down to Polk. It was actually pretty cold in Fort Polk too, down at JRTC.
Really?
During that time. It was actually pretty fucking frigid, uh,
What?
being that it's Louisiana. And then we were off shortly after that overseas and found myself in Kuwait and driving from Kuwait into fucking Iraq, past Baghdad to uh, north of Baghdad to an area called Al Dujal to Fob Orion, which was underneath LSA Anaconda. So MP, okay. How long was schooling for MP? I ran into several MPs overseas in Iraq. We actually did missions with them where we had to escort them and shit like that because we were the QRF for our area and we helped out the MPs with stuff. Um, how long was school for you, brother?
So day one basic training was November 4th, '04, and graduation, including AIT, was April 1st, '05. And got
Hmm.
stationed down at Fort Stewart, Georgia, the 3rd Infantry Division.
Yes.
Uh, did my thing
Broken
there for a
TV.
couple months. Yep, the broken TV. That's
The
right.
broken TV.
Did my thing there for a couple months before I got selected to be on a platoon over to Egypt for about 2 months, which was pretty awesome in itself.
Hmm.
And then came home, did a little bit of road work as an MP, not a whole lot. Once we got back from Egypt, we came down on orders for Afghanistan pretty fast.
Yeah, the rotations they were pretty ramped up early on. Obviously, Afghanistan kicked off before Iraq. And hey, Blondie, what is good? What's going on? Good to see you, Ken Worth, truck driver. Good to see you too, Ken. Um,
What's up, guys?
so all right, now you're in Afghanistan. You said '05, correct?
'07.
'07. I'm sorry, '07. Okay, and then all right, man. Let's talk about your deployment, brother. Where
Yeah,
were you
so
at
first
in?
we get there and basically we were just doing some QRF and a couple village clearings for contraband and whatnot.
Mhm.
And we got hit with a couple IEDs before I got hit, and responded to a few things here and there, but nothing like what I experienced. Uh, we were QRF for an infantry unit on the 4th of
Mhm.
July, well, 5th of July in Afghanistan, and
'07.
What
in
does
'07,
QRF mean?
Quick
quick
reaction
reaction
force.
force. So we were en route to help out this infantry unit that got hit and started taking small arms fire and some mortars. And we took a separate route to try to avoid any secondary attack because you know how they like to plant those secondaries.
Correct.
And we just kind of ran over that secondary attack, triple stack anti tank mine, hit my back left tire of my Humvee, which is also, if you know, that's where the fuel tank is. And
Yep.
so as soon as it hit, flipped the truck. Um, as you know, in our doors, we have that battle lock so that nobody
Yeah.
could come from the outside.
Correct.
You know, as soon as you leave the wire, you're supposed to push that down, lock it. Because I knew we were going to get engaged, I wanted to
Right.
make sure I can get out of my truck as efficiently as possible.
Correct.
So I left it unlocked, which fortunately it saved my life because when we got hit, my door blew off the hinges, which allowed myself to be ejected out of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, my team leader, he did the right thing. He battle locked his door. He was trapped inside and he got killed. And my gunner was ejected out of the turret and lived and is doing all right. He's a fishing boat captain out in Georgia. What up, Josh Cook? And
Plug
you
whoever,
know,
plug whoever, plug whatever
I
battle
had a,
buddies you want, brother.
I was on flames. Had to wait for my boys to come put me out with a couple extinguishers. Sat on site for about 45 minutes to an hour, clearing out the area, making sure the enemy was gone, and then medevac came and picked me up.
Did you get taken out by bird or was it a Kazivac Humvees?
No, they got me by bird. Uh, I was in pretty critical
Pretty bad
condition,
shape.
and
Yeah.
my gunner, uh, he had a couple of burn spots. His back was in pretty bad shape because when he got ejected, he told me that he blacked out, but he got to his peak and started falling, and that's when he like bounced awake. And he said he was good 30 feet in the air on the way down, and
Mm.
so they both took us out on the bird to the nearest medical facility. I don't know what it was called, and then they induced me more or less into a medical coma, and I woke up 3 days later. Well, I got transported 3 days later to Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, Texas,
Right.
where I woke up a month later.
Mm. Wow. Yeah, that's Brook is where they handle the burns and stuff like that, correct? It's a burn center.
Yeah, it's the
Like
burn center, but it's starting to
it's our
become the
big burn center.
amputee center with some of the new advancements in their Center for the Intrepid rehabilitation facility.
So now again, say again, how long were you in a coma before you woke back up after once you got to Brook?
About 4 weeks.
Oh, so they had you. Was that still medically induced, or you just fell into a coma?
No, luckily they medically induced me. So as soon as they did the majority of my graft surgeries on all the burns and amputated all my fingers because they had caught an infection that was spreading, which
Right.
fortunately, when they asked my mom what to do about it, she made the right decision and told them to cut and amputate as much as you can and save as much as you
Right.
can, which as you can see, I ain't got fingers, but that shit could have crawled up my arms. So
Absolutely,
she
hundred
saved she
percent.
saved as much as she could, and I'm very thankful that she made that decision because I'm pretty damn functional with what I have.
You can still
Right.
open a bottle of booze and pour a shot. Let me tell you.
Oh, no, you gotta
That's what's
adapt and
most important,
overcome.
man. Gotta make sure that you can still drink the booze, brother. Gotta get that hooch and make sure you can still drink it, man.
Gonna learn one way or another.
You know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Down. It's good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming by, man. Um, so you wake up 4 weeks later. Your mom has at this point made a absolute fantastic decision to make sure that because those infections what a lot of people don't understand, and Blondie is actually a nurse. You can chime in the chat. When your bodies get third degree burns, okay, essentially your skin is down to muscle, okay, and you're exposed to everything. Your inside is essentially exposed to everything. It creeps right into your muscle tissue and goes where it needs to go. And you can go very very fast, all right, with infections when you have severe burns like Joey had. um so like your whole body. Or by the way, if any of this is tough, Joey, you told me to shut up, bro, and I'll
Oh
stop,
no,
man.
I do this for a living. I've been very fortunate that I've been capable of talking about it more or less since day one out of the hospital. Now, in the hospital, that was a
Right.
different story. But once I got out and started embracing my new norm, and especially coming home and reuniting with people like this guy and a whole many others that ended up living with me throughout the years and all the houses that I've bought and sold, like they never let me like sink down into a dark, deep place and kind of
I'm
let it
glad, man.
wear and dwell on me. And they kept me going. They kept me motivated. And each and every time that I try to be a little bit more down or depressed or try to be a little more stay home-ish, they pull me out real quick.
Right.
We're like, nah, bitch, you can't do that shit.
Yep.
Man, that
They
sucks.
call me out, and I'm not trying to disappoint anybody. So as soon as you challenge me, I'll take that.
Right.
Oh,
Jonathan, are we okay?
he-
Sorry, hang on. Yeah, okay, I see. We do got the Rumble chat today. The other day, the chat wasn't connected on Monday for whatever reason. Rumble was having issues.
Joey is
Um,
also a phenomenal bowler.
Yeah, no, he had to go bowling the last time he was supposed to come on.
No,
Yeah,
but
we didn't do too well that day either, but
but
hey,
he's really freaking good though. He's like he's throwing like 250s and shit.
Nice. I couldn't throw a
I wouldn't say
250
that
if
high.
my luck
My high
depended
is
on it.
234, but I average about a
Yeah,
164.
yeah. My high is like a negative 234. So,
My highest was 254 one time only, and then my average is
so,
99.
so you're in Brook, Joey. How long are you in Brook now that you've had the amputations? You're still going through treatment with your burns. How long were you at Brook?
I was there a total of 18 months with surgeries and rehabilitation and just, I mean, I had from day one, I had to learn how to walk because like when I was active or the day that I got hurt, I should say I was 184 pounds with maybe 14-15% body fat. Like I was pretty strong and in shape. And when I woke up out of the coma, I was 120.
Right.
That was only 4 weeks later. And a lot of the muscle had been gone. A lot of the everything that I built was gone. So uh, actually, the first day even that I could remember was just doing a sit up to go from laying down flat and sitting upright. And eventually, I got strong enough to get off the bed, and then eventually, I got strong enough to stand. And then the next goal was make it to the door in my bedroom, and then the next goal was to go a little bit further out of the bedroom. And I had been in my bedroom for so long, I was very eager to get out of there and see what else was going on, see the world, see the outside, because I didn't have any windows. And so motivation to get up and walk was right there in my face.
Right. So you still obviously you still had function of your legs. Fortunately, thank because most people, even with all that muscle loss, like you said, learning how to walk again, sometimes they lose function because all that muscle's gone, and it's like really, really hard for them to do anything. So 18 months, you're in Brook. Did they transfer you anywhere else, or this was at the point now where you're getting ready to separate,
No,
medically
I
discharged?
stayed my whole time at Brook.
Oh,
There's no need for me to go anywhere else. And I did all my rehab, did all my surgeries, and I got to a point where I could have had more surgeries, but it was more on like the plastic surgery side and getting my face back to some sort of norm.
right,
All the life saving surgeries and life changing were already done, and so I told the military, I was like, "Hey, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to get out." And we started my medical board. I got out. Fortunately, the way they left me wasn't ideal, but I was just so surgically fatigued and just kind
right,
of tired. And I met a nonprofit organization called Operation Mend out of UCLA, and they offered me plastic surgery. And at the time, I told them, no, I've had too much. I've had, people, certain doctors tell me what they can and cannot do. I appreciate it, but no, thank you. But then I came home, and the way my face looked, I wasn't too happy. I stayed sheltered. I kept my hat on, kept my glasses
right.
on. Even at night at the bars, I would keep my glasses on and just blame it on the lights being too bright. I was always in pants and a sweater of some sort that I could hide my hands in my pockets, just
I still remember the
anything.
first time that I saw you when you got back. We were at Vista Village Pub.
Mother Earth, pub
Uh,
area.
yeah. And then I was like, "Hey, I'm James," and you're like, "Yeah, I know Joey Paulk." I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck?" I'm like, "What happened?" And then you told me the story, and I was like, "Oh shit."
It was not a good
That
look
was
when I first got home, but
that had to have been
fortunately, Fortunately, I went to the organization a couple months later and met with their plastic surgeons at UCLA, and they convinced me to do what I had to do, and they put me back together in a way that I couldn't have even imagined, and my confidence from there just skyrocketed.
Right.
You know,
Hey, General Mills, what's going on? Good to see you. For whatever reason, the numbers tick is not going up on Rumble.
yeah, I noticed that.
It's a Rumble thing because the chat is there, so this is all Rumble. Fucking 2 shows in a row now that they're pissing me off.
Rumble just doesn't like you, Eric.
Yeah, it's just they just got to get their shit together. Their back end needs to get freaking. They got to continue to work on it, stuff like that. A lot of great stuff going on Rumble, but they need to, I should see my viewers like in my studio right now. I should see how many viewers I have. Fortunately, I get to see, the chat pop up. So like if we get rated or something like that, I can see it, But everything else should be good to go. So plastic surgery. How many of those did you end up going through, Joey?
With Operation Men at UCLA, I've had 5, but I had a lot trial and error at Brooke Army Medical Center. Some went good, some didn't, which more or less kind of made me want to come home and quit the surgical game at the
Right.
Army hospital.
Right. Hang on.
But
One
it is
second,
what it
guys.
is, Not everybody's going to be as good as UCLA. I mean, look at all the people that they work on. That's what I kind of had in my head. I was like, they can make Michael Jackson black. They could make my face look somewhat decent again.
You mean Michael Jackson white?
White. Yeah. Nina, good to see you, honey.
Not look.
Yeah, they definitely took the black out of him. They bleached the shit out of his skin.
If that could happen, I could get somewhat normal looking.
Right on.
I don't know, Joey. I don't know. No.
So, plastic surgeries, you've had a couple of now. You've been through a litany of surgeries going back to your time at Brook. Where are you at this point? You're just like, you start thinking about, obviously, you come home, you start thinking about, what am I going to do next?
Yeah, that was kind of the thing, but not really so much. I had a lot of growing to do and understanding of why I am the way I am and how I'm going to live my life the way I am without the fingers and the physical appearance of my face and my arms. More just getting the confidence to be alive and be back home rather than focusing on what's next as far as my next goal or dream or career or anything like that. And that took a lot longer than I thought. It took probably my entire 20s. It probably wasn't until my 30s I started feeling truly comfortable where I don't necessarily have to like hide.
Right. Well, I mean, that's understandable. Everything you've been through, we hear many stories, yours included, of just, men and women who've been through it. There were a decent amount of women who caught it too. Okay, catastrophic injuries like that as well. And, many of them unfortunately they came home and didn't feel right. And, they just was like, I can't do it anymore. So I'm just glad, Joey, that you're still with us. I'm glad that you found it in you to say, I'm not going to let this shit stop me. But like you said, it takes some time. It's not everybody heals the same way. I'm just glad, and we're still always healing, right? Like, it's not even, it is a permanent heal. It doesn't ever go away. The experiences that we've been through, the things we've seen, the things we've done, what happened to you, okay, that stays with you for absolutely ever. So I'm just glad, Joey, that you decided to not turn that light off, brother, and you're still with us, man. To me, for me, it's God has brought you here back to stay with us, man. And your mission, what are we doing now, Joey? Like, I know you're active.
Oh yeah. So once I got strong and started getting outdoors and started figuring out what I wanted to start doing, that's when I started figuring out my hobbies and got some prosthetics. So I got a prosthetic so I can get out there and I can golf with my buddies.
Nice.
Golf, as you know, it's already a hard enough game. So prosthetics, not having fingers,
Dude,
that shit makes it a lot harder.
I got raptor arms or T-Rex arms, so like I'm always like I can't do shit with golf.
He's
but I
better
wanna
than
golf.
me, and I have 2 working hands. So let that be a lesson.
So I'm out there sometimes with my boys, and then I had to find something else to do, so I picked up fishing. So I bought my own fishing boat for the ocean. Go out there for the tunas, dorado, and yellowtail.
Nice.
Take my
Deep sea
boys out there
fishing
as
is
often
awesome.
as I can, and whether we catch any fish, I tell people there's really no bad days on the water. Like just
Never.
being out there is so peaceful and beautiful, and like, you're gonna run into some dolphins, get
Yeah.
lucky, maybe some whales, but even if not, like it's just so nice to be out there and away from the
And
noise that we're
yeah,
all just surrounded by.
it's peaceful out there, man. Um, I've done a lot of deep sea fishing my whole life. That's what we do in our family. We actually go out of Cape Hatteras in North Carolina has been our thing. Probably gonna go off the Keys here soon, the next year or two. Promised one of our friends that we would go fishing off the Keys. We just haven't had a chance because COVID wrecked all our annual freaking fishing trips that we used to go on and everything, and then we just haven't picked it back up. And like my dad now, he's almost 85, and he's like, I don't want to go out deep anymore. We can just do like, some offshore, not deep sea and just like inshore type fishing. And we're like, all right, we'll figure it out, Pop. There's plenty of good fishing inshore as well. You don't have to go far offshore to fish. But I'm with you, man. Fishing it's just awesome. It is just so peaceful. And whether you catch something or not, just being out on the ocean, okay, is just very, very, very therapeutic and peaceful.
It really is. So I'm in the works to try to start my own nonprofit to take out veterans and first responders, just so they can have the same sort of experience and sort of
Okay.
tranquility and peace of mind. So
Do you
I'll
know
let you know
Major
when
Ed?
that gets up and
You
running.
absolutely anything I can do to help with that? Please let me know. Do you know Major Ed Polito? He runs Empower the Veterans.
He's the guy that does the fishing out in Florida, right?
No, no, he's actually out of Oklahoma, but he does golfing. All right. He golfs. Like
Oh,
he puts on these tournaments all the time to raise money. He's out of Oklahoma. He was actually my co-host here for a little bit. But his work schedule just kind of took over and everything like that. And he does real estate and everything too. So he's into a lot of different things. But he's got Empowered the Veterans. There's actually a link in the description. He would be a perfect person. I would love to put you together with him if you're going to start a nonprofit. He is the perfect person to talk about. He does a lot of work around the country, and he bounces around a lot. Like I said, and many of his stuff is golf tournaments, but I think fishing tournaments would be absolutely awesome and
Yeah,
whatnot like
absolutely.
that.
I think
Start
Ant
with some
works with
fish.
a guy that does. They take veterans out of Florida, and they go and catch like sailfish and stuff like that. It's pretty sick.
Yeah,
He,
Bunch
it's
of cool nature nonprofits throughout the country. More than just myself have found being out in nature has really allowed us to find some peace of mind and also some bonding with
yeah,
like-minded veterans and people that understand. So one way
yeah.
or
I
another, you're going hunting or fishing or camping or horseback riding or something like being outdoors for us
yeah.
is what we need because being especially combat veterans, like the way we train in the woods or the
I know
desert
we're
and
always
going
fucking
out to
always
deployments, like
embracing
we're
the
always
suck, man.
outside. Like we can't be
always,
indoors. That's also why we joined the MOS that we
yeah,
did.
always embracing the suck, man. Um,
Yeah.
it just it is. I tell people I said I've done enough camping to last me a lifetime, but I would probably obviously do it again, with the right group of people and stuff like that. Uh,
Yeah.
but I think that is a fantastic thing if you get a nonprofit, a fishing nonprofit to take people out fishing, take veterans out fishing and whatnot, and getting them active again. Um, whatever I can do, you definitely have
Yeah,
my
I'll let you
platform,
know.
Joey.
Absolutely.
You have my platform, man. You can come back and forth as much as you need, okay, to put it out there. I'd like to put you together with Major Ed Polito. He can help you with, at least point you in the right direction on how to
I
start them
also
up.
have a
And
small platform that I can help you out with.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're not on the wall yet, there, guy.
yes,
It's gonna
yes.
happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Does he know about the
yeah.
the
Doesn't
You
know
view?
you
about the.
showed me your wall of fame.
Well, yeah, but the viewers don't know the bet or not. It's not a bet. It's more of a rule, I guess.
Motivation. Motivation
Motivation.
for you.
Exactly. So Joey has been fortunate in his life to meet lots and lots of very famous people. He goes to the ESPYs and does all these super rad stuffs. And he has a wall at his house that is filled with him and celebrities and presidents and you name it. You know, if it's someone famous, Joey has a picture with him. And so I told Joey, I'm like, well, when do I get up on the wall? You know, come on. He's like, oh, you're not famous enough yet. I said, all right, well, how about when I hit 100,000? He's like, no, that's not enough. I was like, how about
Damn.
two? I'm like, how about? And this is when I had like 10,000 followers. Like this
Right.
is like a long time ago. So I'm like, what about 200,000? He's like, no. He's like, how about 1 million? So my
Oh God.
goal is within the next 2 years to hit 1 million followers on Facebook. So
The way you're growing, bro, you'll be fine. Fucking Facebook nuke. Facebook. I sign up, didn't post any. I still haven't posted anything. They nuked me. They nuked the freaking page I created. I gotta
I
create
don't
a
think
page.
you have to like go to your page and then there's you click your picture
Yeah,
and it should pop down with the page that you made.
it's not there.
It's
I didn't
wild.
see it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they fucking nuked me, man. I was like, I haven't even posted anything. I was like, what the fuck?
How can I be? How can you nuke me like that? And you know, like
I
I didn't
know,
even
man.
post anything offensive yet.
Yeah, it's like I haven't even posted, and this is like, I mean, especially like, my private is gonna be my private, and when Blondie's laughing, she's just laughing my ass off. They already nuked you. I haven't even posted anything that got nuked. Yeah, I'm on his shit list from Instagram. That's why, because you know how they do me on Instagram.
No. Well, it's the
They
same as
got
they
me,
do me.
dude.
They don't
Um,
like conservatives.
I am on complete ice, bro. And listen, I'm growing little by little again, but it's like, they let me hit about 22,000, Joey, on Instagram from like December to January. December of last year to January, I went from 300 fucking followers to 22,000. Okay. And then they were like, nope, too fast. And then like for 11 months, they had me almost 11, it was like 10 months. They had me on like serious ice. And then from October and through November, I picked up like another like 3,000 followers and whatnot.
He's bigger than me on Instagram.
Yeah,
Very
Hey,
but
big.
hey,
like
you
not
get
that
to a
big, bro.
million, I'll put you on the wall too.
Yeah, that's not happening. And then and on LoopTube, they got me on ice too. They did that from like the jump. They started seeing the shit I was posting, and they were like, "Yeah, we're not helping this motherfucker." And we're also in a niche that's just like completely saturated with people who do the same shit that I do. So and like on Mondays and Fridays, Scott's with me for Break the Machine podcast. Next Wednesday, when I'm not doing Warrior Wednesdays, on Wednesdays I do Break the Machine podcast. Bass Blondie's with me then on those days and stuff like that. And then Saturday, only on Rumble, I do the Salty Dog Show. You should definitely come hang with us on a Salty Dog Show. It's usually pretty fun. We usually have a bunch of people that are in, and we're salty about different things, for everything from culture to you name it.
We'll
Uh,
just talk shit.
yeah, we just talk shit about stuff. We concentrate a little bit more on culture on the Saturday show because like we're so political heavy during the week that we just kind of want to change it up a little bit. But you should definitely come hang out with us. You'll probably laugh. Look, Joe, you see the Star Destroyer in the background, bro?
Yeah,
So
that's got me a few times.
and there's some TIE fighters that fly by with it and stuff. Um, so you know, let's go back to starting to figure things out. You're getting your drive again. You're like, I gotta fucking do something. What's the first thing you start doing to just get yourself back in the game?
Honestly, you just said it. As soon as I was strong enough to walk and balance and handle myself, go up some stairs and everything, because I had to rebuild all my leg strength again. But as soon as I was released from the hospital, yeah, that was the first thing I wanted to do is get behind the wheel and drive. A
Right
lot of
on.
people in getting blown up or having some sort of a traumatic situation in a car accident, whatnot, they might be a little afraid to get behind the wheel.
Yeah.
I've been a driver before I had my license. Driving is what I do. It's what I love to do. It's what more or less I think I was even born to do. So as soon as I was able to get out of the hospital, I was like, all right, no fingered hands. Let's figure this out. And, just
Right.
Let's
little
go
by
ahead and buy a
little.
Dodge Viper because that's the safest car to drive with no hands.
once I got comfortable behind the wheel, I had to get a little bit more horsepower.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, fuck it, man.
He bought a Dodge Viper, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you drive
Uh,
it? Like,
Dude, a lot of people ask
blonde.
me how I drive just in general, let alone driving a manual, and I'm
I
like,
mean, I drive with my
I just,
palms
I
anyways,
just
but
do.
I mean,
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
Blondie wanted to know what your MOS is. She came in after we talked about it. So our question is,
I'm
what
a
was your MOS?
I was 31 Bravo, military police. Yep,
So
I upheld the law
He
just to
went
give you
wee
guys
woo, wee woo.
a little
a few
education,
times.
in Iraq and Afghanistan, there was a lot of overlap between us in the infantry and the military police. We did a lot of the same types of missions. Um, you know, the MPs were unfortunately tasked to do a lot of infantry shit, okay, that, they weren't trained to do. All right, but they got the training eventually. They got a lot of on the job training to do shit. And in many cases, as infantry, we were tasked to do shit that MPs were supposed to do, okay, that we weren't trained to do. And it was all learning on the fly. But, a lot of people don't know that, in the beginning, at least in the beginning of both theaters, okay, of operation, both in Afghanistan, Iraq, the MPs and infantry, we overlapped with each other a lot. Okay, it was not uncommon for MP units and infantry units to get together on missions together. You know, um,
Oh,
they
absolutely. In
weren't.
our training, just being MPs, we're naturally trained to clear buildings for, you know, a standoff sort of situation. So we're already naturally trained to clear buildings out in combat. There's a few other different tactics and tricks of the trade that we had to
Yeah,
put into what we already know. And then
yeah,
holding TCPs, traffic control points, that's in the MP manual just
yep,
because we have to learn how to control traffic. So going out there, we just implied the combatness with a C wire and everything of
yeah.
that sort. And
And they would
uh,
make us do TCPs too. Just fucking throw
yeah,
up,
so a
take the
lot of our
concertina
training kind of
wire, and
overlapped to
yeah,
combat. We just had to learn the
Di-
combative side of our civilian, so to say,
dude,
training and
they would have us
building.
just throw up a fucking TCP at, like, okay, we want you to go here, throw some concertina wire up,
Yep.
just literally just throw some concertina wire across the road. That's your gate, okay, and fucking stop traffic for miles because that's how it happened, okay, and
Yep.
it was just it's absolutely insane. Um,
Ridiculous.
of course, we so just to give you, like I said, I was in a National Guard. We got active. We got our warning orders, got activated. Everybody in my platoon sergeant was ESU for NYPD. So when we were raiding, when we were training our raids, in both drum and polk, okay, it was all NYPD doctrine. He's like, fuck this shit in the army manual that they want us to teach you. He's like, when we're going through this, he's like, when we're going through the training, we'll do exactly what the fucking OCs want us to do. Okay, we'll do exactly what they want us to do so we can get through it. But when we're training on our own, we're gonna do it this way. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't want to tell you how fast we used to clear fucking buildings out just because we used NYPD doctrine. We used actual police tactics, SWAT tactics to fucking clear shit out, and it was like clockwork. I mean, we went on one raid, man, obviously in the middle of the fucking dark. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. We hit this house at 5, wake up everybody in the neighborhood at 5 with the freaking flashbangs and everything because some shit popped off, and banging people's doors down and ripping their gates open. Um, we literally, it was like a 3-story apartment, not really apartment building. It was actually a 3-story home. And it was, I want to say, there was who was with us? It was actually an MP unit with us that was doing an outer cordon for us, okay? Because we would take turns, and there was an
Yeah, we
outer
would do that.
cordon to make
We
sure
would do that
nobody
quite a bit.
fucking yeah, to make sure that freaking nobody came near us while we were in the middle of this raid, okay? And I remember the CO of that fucking. I'm sorry, the platoon. It was the platoon leader that was with that platoon that was with us that was doing the outer cordon for us. Was like, holy shit, you guys are quick. And then my platoon leader and my platoon leader was a cop too. So my whole platoon, just so you know, was all FDNY, NYPD. There were paramedics in there. Fucking, it was all first responders. So like when we did shit and we had to react to things, we reacted like it was real time, like first responders would do shit, and we were quick. I would say on Father's Day, 2004, me and 3 of my buddies, we saved fucking 2 Iraqi guys. The third guy didn't make it. He was just riddled with holes. So they took these 3 dudes out. It was a family. It was the father, the son, and the brother of the father, his uncle. We're literally fucking driving on the ASR. We go off this MSR, fucking MSR Tampa, okay, and we're on the ASR, and I can't for the life of me remember the fucking name was Python. And we're driving, and this kid, teenage, he was like a 20-year-old dude, okay, comes out of, and you remember from like in parts of Afghanistan, the elephant grass that they have that you can't see,
Oh
the
yeah.
fucking berms that you can't see over. All right, this kid comes out from over one of these berms, okay, and he's a kid to me because he's in his 20s. He runs out and he flags us down. So we're about fucking 2 seconds from lighting this kid up, okay, because we don't know what's gonna happen. All right, and sure enough, he's covered in blood. So, like, my fucking platoon leader gets out, crazy fuck that he is. He gets out to talk to him. The kid speaks some English, right? And he's like, "Hey, my father, and my uncle, my father and my uncle, my father and my uncle." That's all he kept fucking saying. But like, so this berm, okay, is full with elephant grass. There's like this little road in between it, in between these berms, okay. And we're like, "Is this a fucking ambush?" You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm like, LT, I was his driver that day. I'm like, LT, I was like, I don't know about this. And he's like, he's like, Soto, fucking radio back. He's like, let's let the convoy know we're gonna go down. We're not gonna go down too far, but we're gonna go down a little bit. So once we get on this road, we can actually see the behind the berms. There was like another little berm, but fucking it wasn't as high. So you can actually see over them when you got off the road. So it's a little bit better visibility. Sure enough, man, this poor guy's uncle and his father are riddled with holes. And the reason the insurgents shot these guys up, Al Qaeda shot him up, okay, was because the father, we recognized him immediately. He used to bring water to all the fobs in our area for our showers and stuff like that and
He
everything.
was helping you
He
guys
used to
out.
Yeah, he used to drive potable water. He was contracted to do that by the U.S. government, and because they found out about that, they fucking took these guys out in the middle of a little fucking place in the middle of nowhere, shot them up, and sure enough, me and 3 of my buddies, we fucking jumped on him right away. We were all like what do you call it, combat lifesavers. So we went into action right away to save this guy. The uncle was bro. When we got there, he literally saved his last breath to when we showed up. I think it was more he looked over at his brother and fucking expired. That was it. And there was no bringing back. He was just gray. I'm talking about like a dark gray when we got to him. He had lost so much blood. And I think he held on just to make sure that his brother and his nephew were taken care of. And we saved this guy. And then but the son too had like he was shot up too, like his legs and stuff. Called out Kazivac, and they came and fucking picked him up. And the medics were like, who patched these guys up? And fucking we were like, we did. It's like you guys got some pretty good training. The reason we were good at it is because the paramedics in our platoon taught us all how to do that shit. It was like, fuck this combat lifesaver shit. Some of it is good. We're gonna teach you this shit that's gonna really save lives. And we ended up doing it. We got awards for it and stuff, but it wasn't there for that. But I remember that day because it was Father's Day. And me being a father, I was thinking about my son a lot that day. And sure enough, man, this guy's son, if he hadn't came out on the road to stop us, to flag us down, we would have drove right by him, and fucking they both would have expired, and that poor dude would have been there with his dead uncle and his dead father. So that's the type of shit the stories that people don't freaking hear. What's going on, Nina? Good to see you. So I see the chat. What's going on, Cowgirl? Good to see you too. I see the chat in what do you call it, EV Mux, but for whatever. Rumble doing Rumble things. I can't see the counter in EV Mux. So like it says I have the one person on YouTube who's chilling with us right now. But all you guys, we got 6 people on Rumble fucking hanging with us. So all right, man. You got up, you're moving, you're going again, you're like, fuck this. Life's not gonna get the best of me. I'm gonna keep moving and stuff like that. What are some of the jobs that you were able to get into? People who were like willing to give you jobs immediately once you were like, I'm getting back on the horse.
No, unfortunately, no jobs for me. Having the fingers is highly
Right.
limited in what I can and cannot do career wise, and I'm not an indoors person, so being outdoors is not impossible, but
Yeah.
it depends on what I would do. But I got into speaking. It's going around fundraising, motivating, inspiring, creating awareness for the cause, trying to help out other veterans, learn the benefits and nonprofits, and just trying to do what I can to stay involved within the veteran community. And with Operation Mend, when they put me back together, being a local, well, LA, San Diego, it's not that far. It's a 2 hour drive, but
Right.
I was willing to make it for them in any sort of manner, whether it's a lunch with a potential donor or senator, congressman, or some high ranked military who want to come and check out what Operation Men is doing to their Marines or their sailors or their soldiers. Like, there's a lot of high rank curious officers and politicians that were unaware that there's a civilian hospital now working on these combat wounded veterans. And so it drew a lot of attention. And since I had such a positive attitude and outlook on the whole situation, and my face going from what I was to where I'm at is a pretty significant difference. I was a good example of what they can do. And so anytime they asked, I went up there and I did my thing, and then I got good at it. And then it became more nationwide where people wanted to get involved. So somebody in Texas might be like, "Hey, I'm hosting you a dinner with 300 people. All the proceeds are going to you guys." I'd go
Nice.
to Texas and go to that dinner and stand up and represent and tell them basically everything I'm telling you, just in a nutshell, depending on how much time I have. Uh, and I've been doing that more or less since 2009. And I've gotten involved with some really good people, really good organizations out of LA and out of New York City. And, I've had a lot of fun.
Curious.
And
Who out of New York City?
IAVA, Iraq Afghanistan
Okay.
Veterans of America,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the,
Yeah.
the original founder, Paul Rykoff.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Not kind of what it is now. I remember what it was in the beginning.
right. Yeah.
I actually signed
I,
up
I
to be
think that, I think that's kind of
IAVA in the
why
beginning.
I wonder if maybe that's why Paul left. Because as far as I knew Paul, and I know Paul pretty well, that was his baby.
It
IAVA
was
was what he started up and what he did, and I had a great time with him and helping him out and getting that up and running with him. And he gave me some of the greatest experiences of my life. That also was just parts of the stepping stone in my healing and confidence in myself. And I have a lot to Paul Rykoff and the IAVA from when I was back there in I
yeah.
think I met him in 2011 through. I mean, I'm still friends with Paul. Technically, I talked to him on Veterans Day this past November.
Right on. Yeah, man. I'm just glad to honestly, Joey, you're an inspiration, man. Um, I obviously did not go through anything that you have. Did lose a buddy, a platoon mate to an IED. He was in the turret and it killed him instantly. Um, so that's as far as experience. That's the only experience we have is losing one of our platoon mates. Um, and obviously you lost people too in that experience and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure as you left and came back, you probably heard stories eventually of unfortunately other people that you may have lost in your unit and whatever like that.
Oh, luckily and fortunately, my IED was
Mhm.
the last
Oh,
IED and
great.
the last big casualty injury incident, at least for my platoon.
That's awesome. My battalion as a whole, okay, in the whole time we were in Iraq, we lost 3 people. That's it. We were very fortunate because we were in country when things were ramping up and IEDs were like fucking ice cream sandwiches, like they were handing them out. And we used to have to take, as QRF, obviously we did raids, but one of the things we used to do all the time was convoy escorts, in particular the civilian convoy escorts that were contracted out by the U.S. The U.S. we would have to take them from our area of operation into another area of operation, and then another unit would pick them up and stuff like that. And then we would have to drive back from fucking wherever we took them. We'd have to take EOD out to all this shit all the time. I know the MPs did that a lot as well. Okay, we would have to escort them every time one of these things were found on the road. And in like 99% of the fucking cases, the idiots that put them together didn't put them together correctly. Okay, so like it was even more dangerous because they didn't wire the shit right, and then they would daisy chain them. So like, you know, I don't want to tell you how many times they were just fucking pissed that they couldn't blow the whole thing in place on the daisy chain. They would literally have to set up one, then fucking set up another, and it would be one shot at a time, you know, because it was all rigged incorrectly and whatnot. You know, so you know, the civilians that got hit, we had civilian units that would get hit with IEDs, and you know, I got some, I got some footage of a Black Hawk coming down to pick up a civilian guy, and like the medics running him out because where my Humvee was at, I just literally snapped pictures as it was happening. I was like, I will never see this ever again. You know, I was like, I have to make sure I capture this. This is incredible. And we did it. It was literally right on the MSR where this happened. And it was like not off on a side road. And we had traffic backed up for miles in both directions to make sure that the birds had room to come in, and the bird had room to come in, you know. So you had one bird come in, and then you had fucking a bird stay on station to protect it and everything. And I was like, I got to snap pictures of this because, like, fuck, man. It's like I'll never experience this ever again in my life. Just Gina, what is going on? Good to see you, Shorty. I will definitely be with you guys on Friday on what do you call it? Third Railify guys. Just so you guys know, after our show on Friday night, I will be heading to Third Railify. I won't be going to Bourbon and Beer. I might, you know, I don't know. I might close Bourbon and Beer out, but Sean and Gina invited me to come hang because Gina came to hang with us on a Saturday night on the Salty Dog Show. So myself, actually, Tomby, and Chris are going to be on hanging with her on Friday night. So her and Sean. So I won't be on Bourbon and Beer, guys. I will be on Third Railify on Friday night. And just so you guys know, we're supposed to have mostly peaceful Latinas. I don't know if that. I think that's gonna fall through for Friday. If not, it'll just be Scott and I. And then Saturday, you guys know, Salty Dog Show, 6 to 8, and then from 8 p.m. on, we're watching Die Hard on what do you call it? On the Discord. Die Hard has won. We have movie nights, Joey. Like at least once a month. So we put up my moderator Jonathan. He set up the Discord and he put up all the movies, and Die Hard won.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Absolutely,
See, that's what I say.
100%.
He has a present on the plane, and there's a big Christmas tree with a Christmas party. It is a Christmas movie.
Yep. Shit, First Blood is a Christmas movie. It's the original Christmas action movie. It is. I tell people like, no, it's not. And I was like, yes. When he's in the station house, okay, and he's at the desk, right, and they're getting ready to do things, there's literally a fucking Christmas tree in the background, and then there's Christmas lights all over the town.
Dude, you should see Joey's Christmas tree. That thing's freaking massive. It's a thick
awesome.
boy. It's a thick boy. That thing has to be what, like 6 feet in diameter, at least, maybe more.
Would you cut down a fucking pine? You went out into the middle of the freaking redwoods and found one or some shit?
Dude, I swear, this thing is massive. I was like,
she's a fat girl.
She's fat, bro. Like,
that's funny.
She has a big bottom. Big bottom.
Well, I got my Christmas tree.
That's how Eric likes them.
Yeah, last year I got one late and it was all skinny and brittle. I could see through it. So I was like, this year I'm going big. I'm going to curly.
Go big or go home, right?
That's right, baby. That's right. How's Leroy doing?
It's good. He's being a bulldog, sleeping his life away.
Yeah, same. Man. Frank's right here, passed out.
Frank the Tank. Now, James, man.
Frank and Leroy are friends.
When was it when you ran into Joey when he came back?
Shit, that was like, 2000. Yeah, about 2009-ish. Yeah.
So what goes through your mind? Because I'm pretty sure you didn't recognize him right off the jump.
Obviously. No, I didn't. I even said it because he was in a group of friends, everybody that we knew from high school, and like I wasn't really going out that much at the time, and you know, I just walk up. I'm like, oh hey, what's up? I'm James. He's like, yeah, James Leon, I know. I'm like, okay, like who are you? You know, because I had no idea what had happened to him.
Yeah.
He's like Joey Paulk. I'm like, wait, what the fuck happened? And then he's like, you know what? Thank you for asking, because everybody's always so scared to fucking ask. And I remember that's the first thing he said to me. And then he went into the story of what happened. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like, and then we just kind of stayed in contact. And, there'll be times to where, like during summer when the girls are gone, I'll go to his house and hang out for, 2 or 3 days, bring the
Right
dogs with
on.
me. He has a little like air mattress, so we'll pump that up and we'll barbecue food, hit the pool, stuff like that. And every single year we do a party for Joey to celebrate his Alive Day, which is one of the best events of the year. It's
That's
just to
awesome.
celebrate Joey and to pay respects to the fallen soldiers that fell that day. So
Right. Well, it's good to keep that going, man. I'm glad you guys have come together and you have a tradition that you guys have started. Um, and James, what you did, believe it or not, man, we freaking as veterans that have gone through it, we rather hear it straight up and be like, "What happened? What the fuck happened to you?" I'd rather hear somebody say, "What the fuck happened," okay, than skirt around it. It's
yeah,
more awkward if you're trying to skirt around it, like because we're Joey can tell you, fucking,
it's
we're
just
like
like come
we're
out and say it, God.
yeah,
Like what the fuck,
we don't
man?
give a
Just say
fuck.
it. Like
Yeah,
we don't care. Like it's more awkward for us that we have to like wait for you to ask to be like, so yeah, this is what happened.
yeah,
Because
yeah. It's so much
Joey's
easier.
not just gonna walk up to someone and be like, "Hey, so yeah, like I was blown up," and
Yeah,
it's like, but it's that whole comedian thing, right? Where
yeah,
Matt Rife did it in one of his shows. There was a fucking a blind guy or something in the front row, and
right.
and and he starts, he's like talking to this guy, and the guy's like responding. He's just all like this, looking all over the place. He goes, "Wait, are you fucking blind?" You guys like, "Yep." He's like, "So you paid $1,000 for front row tickets, and you're blind?
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?" but but people with disabilities enjoy being made fun of just as
oh
everybody
yeah,
else, and it's one of those things where, oh, you can't make fun of them because of this. Why the fuck not? They want to be
Yeah,
treated like normal fucking humans, and normal
yeah,
fucking humans get made fun of. Like I get
yeah.
made fun of all day long online.
Uh,
Like people
I
are fucking coming at me. I don't give a shit. Like
I find that people with disabilities tend to fucking make fun of themselves more than anything.
yeah,
Okay,
all
and
day.
just make people laugh with the shit. You're like, what did you just say? And then like they'll come out of pocket with some shit, okay, and have you in fucking stitches, okay. And you're like, I can't believe this motherfucker just said that
dude,
about himself.
there's
But you're laughing there. You're laughing
there's a
hysterically.
there's this comedian, and he's super liberal, right? And he has cerebral palsy, so he's like in a chair, and he's just like, he's all, at least I can sit
Yeah, I know what you're
acetaminophen."
talking about. I think I know what you're
Right, that
talking
guy.
about.
So I go, well, it looks like your mom took too much Tylenol. Was my response to the video. People came after me for that. I'm like, first of all, he's a fucking comedian. Secondly,
Yeah,
if he saw my video,
he'd
one
probably laugh
thousand
his
percent,
ass off.
he would laugh his ass off. Even though we have completely different fucking political views, like he'd be
Yeah,
like, okay, that was really funny. Like that's actually a funny joke. And I'm like, and
yeah,
you guys are
he
so.
would.
It's always the people who get so sensitive about shit. Like it's like we can't bring you to parties. Like you're no fun at a party.
Yeah,
That's why no one ever invites you.
it's true, man.
Yeah, but that's
It's
that's
just
one of
like,
my favorite things about being the way I am and having the humor that I have with my friends. Like anytime we're out in public, especially when I'm
Nothing's
out
off limits.
bowling,
yeah,
everybody just and to see people's reactions, they're like, "Oh my god,
I
did
can't
you
believe
did you
you
say
say
he
that.
doesn't have any fingers?" And it's like, yeah, that's kind of the joke and the fun of it. And
The girls like it.
yeah, I love it. Like, but it also helps when a good friend or even myself will make a joke to let the people know around me, like, hey, I'm comfortable, I'm good with it. Like, go ahead and let's have some fun because it's better to have fun than be all awkward and protective and
yeah,
defensive. Like, oh, poor him. Like, no, not poor me. I'm alive. I'm happy. Let's have some jokes with this.
yeah,
Joey
absolutely.
lives a more fulfilled life than I live. I'll tell you that.
Dude, like fucking, and I know his battle buddies probably rip on him more than anything because that's what we do.
I've
It's
talked
just
to a
what it
couple of
is.
them on the phone.
Yeah, that they will fucking
They're
rip
pretty
on
savage.
him.
They're savage
Yeah.
as fuck, man.
Oh yeah. That
Like
like
I
that.
think
I'm
I'm
pretty
pretty
sure.
bad. No.
Nah, the battle buddies are a fucking yeah. It's over with. And I bet you, Joey, you're laughing your ass off when they're just ripping into you about some shit, calling you
Every single
everything,
time.
fucking just making shit up for your situation and your condition, and you're sitting there cracking up because the shit is just funny. You always got like
Hmm.
one or two guys in your fucking group that are just they're so witty and they think of shit on the fly, okay, in a situation and have everybody in hysterics with the shit that comes out of their mouth. I just like, did this
One of my
motherfucker just say
nicknames
that?
is bowling is fingers. And so when
That
the
guy's
people know the
named
inside
Tiny.
joke, they're like, "Yo, let's go fingers." People around that haven't heard that before, they're so weirded out. It's hilarious.
No.
Fucking awesome. That is
That's like a fat guy
absolutely
being
fucking
named
great.
Tiny, you know?
Yeah. Oh
Hey,
man,
Tiny.
that's fucking great.
Big ass
But
Yeah, I
like I
mean
motherfucker
said,
walks up. Whoop.
that's part of what's helped me out in my like recovery. Like I've always had a really dark sense of humor, so being
of
able to
course,
carry
man.
that over
It,
into this
it
and
only
have my
gets darker.
brothers
It
and
only gets
everything
darker when we go into the
participate.
military.
Yeah,
It only gets
it just
darker.
it was so much easier to cope with it once I was out of the middle or out of the hospital and understanding this is my life, this is my new norm, this is just way it's gonna be. So what am I gonna do with it?
Hey,
Am I gonna hide away or
Joey,
am I gonna
someone wants
run
to.
with it?
My legs are in the freaking camera.
She wants to say hi.
Oh, okay.
It's Olivia.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, Liv.
Huh? He said, "What's going on?" Yeah. She calls him Uncle Joey.
uh, here, Base Blondie says that our ex had a battle that everyone called Quagmire because of the shit that he would say.
Giggity,
It's
giggity.
true. Yeah, you get nicknames, man. Everybody gets a nickname. Doesn't matter who the fuck you are. From the company commander down, everybody gets a nickname.
No, and that's kind of the thing, like with what we were talking about when it's hard for people to come up and ask and whatnot. In San Antonio, when I left the hospital, people didn't have to ask because it was
They
all
knew.
over the news, and then the hospital is right there as a reference that if you saw someone like me, I'm probably a veteran. So instead of people coming up and asking me, they would do things secretively to thank me, like
Pay
buy
your
me a drink
bill.
without me know who they are, buy my dinner, buy my movie ticket or whatever. Like
Right.
they would do things anonymously, which was great. They didn't want any credit. It was all about me and them
Right.
thanking me, which is. But
Paying it
I would have
forward.
liked to have met them and said thank you because I do appreciate it. I'm not
Yeah.
Right back.
looking for any hand me outs or anything like that.
Of
But
course, man. We
the
never are.
community just the San Antonio community really embraced me, and being Texas and military pride, American pride, like they really grabbed me and wrapped me in a nice comfortable blanket, which ultimately gave me the motivation to be like, all right, if this is what life is like outside the hospital, then life really isn't all that bad. And so me living here in Oceanside, right outside of Camp Pendleton, I
I'm
was kind
bringing
of
this to you.
thinking the same thing, military community, military base, surrounded by a bunch of jarheads, should be
Right.
a good time. They don't have the hospital as a reference point, and the physically visual injured veterans coming back from the war weren't all over the news here in San Diego.
Right.
So yeah, I get a lot of stares, a lot of whispers, a lot of talks, and Q&As that I can hear from other people. And I get those occasional people that come up and ask me like, hey, I can tell you've been through something horrific. If you don't mind
Right.
me asking what happened. As to me, I guess being in the hospital and being a veteran, someone this significantly jacked up, I assume combat veteran. But here
Right.
in California, as soon as I drop, yeah, I'm a combat veteran. I got blown up in Afghanistan. Their faces just go ghost. Like they weren't expecting that answer, and they never expected to see
As if
someone this
as if
significantly injured visually from the war. You
but
see
what
it
I'm
in
saying is
movies, you see it on TV, but in person, it's like, whoa.
as if people from California didn't serve in any of the wars. You know what I'm saying? Like think about how ridiculous that is, right? Like again, like you
But the
said, it's
older
different in a
wars, veterans like myself weren't surviving. So
That is
like there
true,
was
but
that generation didn't have examples like this, just walking in public, going to
no, but what
assemblies
I'm
at schools and
that
stuff.
is true. But what I'm saying is that there were plenty of people in California who were serving in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? We got we have major military installations in California. So it's not like they don't know, okay, that this can happen. It's just I don't know. It's oh, I can't believe this has
Shock and
happened
awe.
in one of our people from our state or something like that. It's weird. Again, I know it's different in a place like Texas, in a place like where I'm at. Okay, Florida, North Carolina is different because their military is the real thing in each one of those states, and they've embraced it in those states. But yeah, man, it just again, bro, your energy is fucking perfect, man. You still have fun. You haven't stopped being who you are. You joke around. You fucking bowl. You do things. You stay
He gives the
active.
best hand jobs too. Let me tell you.
It's all in the nub. It's all in the nubs, man. It's all in the nubs.
Dude, it's just
It's all in the
No
nubs,
more
bro.
Joe,
no more
Joey's,
calluses on these soft hands.
Joey's all fuck you, James.
It's all in the nubs, man.
Dude, he has some lotion.
Yeah,
You just
yeah. He nubs you the wrong way, brother. He nubbed you the wrong way.
Right?
uh Again, man, your energy is fucking perfect, man, and it's unfortunate that, like I said, like I said earlier, a lot of our brothers and sisters, they could never recover from it, and we've lost a lot of them over the years. Unfortunately, something that still not, we only in our circles and obviously people who support us talk about, the tragedy of what happens, the 22 a day stuff, which is probably higher at this point, I think. Um, the
that
homeless
shit
veterans
fucking
and stuff
kills
like
me.
that. uh it is a disaster, but it is great to see people like you, Joey. Like you bring me fucking happiness, man, because like you're the embodiment of giving it all, okay, coming back from it, all right, and continuing to drive on. An absolute hard charger forever, man. And I absolutely appreciate it. I appreciate you, man. Just like your experience
Appreciate
is
that.
like an experience of a lot of people, um, in our small world. We make up less than 1% of people who fought during this last war the last 20 years. It's less than 1%, okay,
Crazy.
in the United States. So like we're a rare breed, okay, of people, of the men and women that served. And again, there were plenty of women that caught catastrophic injuries too overseas and stuff like that. But it's fucking awesome, man. I'm so glad that your energy is what it is. It could have gone a different way, and I'm glad it didn't.
Yep, it definitely could have. And uh, there, over those 3 days in Afghanistan, bouncing around from there to Germany, before I got back to Texas, they were calling my mom and my family every so often. From the very first phone call that my mom got was, "Hey, this is the military. Sorry to say your son's been injured minorly." And then they called her back and they're like, "Your son has some burns over his body. We don't know the extent." And then the third call and the fourth and the fifth. And
Right.
it got to a
It just
point where,
it got exponentially worse every phone call.
yeah,
Hmm.
it got to a point where I was in Germany and I hadn't quite stabilized strong enough to fly to the States yet. And so they're calling my mom to possibly prepare to fly out to Germany. And as she's preparing for that flight and everything, the phone rings again, and my dad answers it. And fortunately, it was the better of the phone calls where I did stabilize. And they're like, "We're flying him to San Antonio, Texas. You can meet him there. There's no need to come to Germany anymore." And my mom, more or less, she saw me in ICU an hour to an hour and a half after I got there.
Mm.
So the military got my family there as fast as possible, which is a good and bad thing, because
Yeah.
my mom saw me like more or less before any surgeries, and she said that wasn't. She said she'll never forget that visual.
Right.
I
Of
can only
course not, man.
imagine.
Yeah, I was about to say, I can only imagine, man.
Wow.
Um, what your mom saw in those that first hour of seeing you back after what happened to you, and that you're right. She'll never forget that. Your parents in general will just never forget what they went through, to knowing that their son, um, almost didn't make it. Thankfully, you did. Do you have any siblings, brother?
Yeah, I have a sister and two stepbrothers.
Okay. Are they younger or older?
Yeah, they're all younger. I'm the oldest.
They're all younger. What was it like for them, man?
It was hard on my sister because she's blood. The stepbrothers, they took it as hard as they would, but my sister, and being a female, like she took it highly emotional, and she actually was there with my mom as soon as I got there, so she saw me and was there as long as she could. Um, and then when I reawoke from my coma and started just reestablishing my new norm, she'd come out and give my mom some relief and help me with my medical treatment, my bandages, and everything like that, in any way that she could, just so that my mom and my girlfriend, who also my girlfriend moved out there at the time. We're no longer together, but at the time she dropped everything. She moved out there with my mom and said, "I'm not coming back until he does." So that's another reason why, honestly, like I'm like stronger than I guess you could say than a lot of people would assume, is as from day one that I woke up out of my coma, my mom and my sister and my family were there, and then
Right.
my mom and my girlfriend, they never left. Whereas a lot of families, they can't
Yeah.
stay there. They have other siblings, children. They have other
Yeah.
jobs and careers and schools. So
Obligations.
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of these veterans that are significantly injured in ways I never imagined, and I saw what they had to go through, and they're by themselves. It takes a whole different toll on your mind and your state of mind. Which, when you're in that situation, being in the best state of mind for recovery is what you want. And so, a lot of these veterans that didn't have that sort of family support there 24/7 like I did, uh, I can't even imagine. And I truly thank my family and my ex girlfriend for being there for that time, because being alone sucks. I could contend and condone to that, but not
Yeah. I
during
got I got the
the
dear
hospital
John
time.
on a I got the dear John on a phone call. So, um, yeah, fucking on a barely on an internet call that barely fucking worked. So
Right.
I'm glad that your girl, at the time she stuck it out with you, and for whatever reason, obviously you guys didn't work
What he didn't
and
tell
stuff,
you
but
was I used to be a girl, and that's why we're not together
ah,
anymore. Yeah.
We
right,
all know that you used to be a girl.
yeah,
You're not hiding it that much.
yeah. Now we see why you're fascinated with Transformers. We get it.
No.
But that is
The
very important, man.
little
It's a
pubic hairs
key.
on his chin.
um, that is very key what you were saying, man. Just having the support. There are a lot of veterans that that never have. Okay, many of us actually didn't have the same support, whether it was because they just didn't have anybody, or like you were saying, their families just they had other kids that they had to take care of, other obligations. They couldn't take all the time they needed away from work in order to keep things going. Well, while you're laid up in a bed somewhere or something like that. And then what comes after that is actually when their loved one comes home, having to take the time to get them right, or try your best to get them right again, right? And in many cases, unfortunately, people didn't get right. So I'm glad you had that, man. It's very, very important.
Yeah, I was very lucky, very fortunate. Uh, Little shout out to 7-Eleven. That's who my mom and dad worked for, and the CEO, Joe DePinto, is a West Point grad. And as soon as my mom told him what happened to me and even threatened to quit, she's like, "I'm going to San Antonio. I'll quit. I'll take a sabbatical. I'll do whatever, but I'm going to San Antonio and I'm not leaving." He told my mom, "No, you're not going to quit. Yes, you are going to San Antonio and you are going to stay until your son is healthy, and we'll figure out how to make your career and job work from where you are, remotely." And sure as shit, the whole time we were there, she had her job and worked remotely. And occasionally, the headquarters is up in Dallas, so she just drove up to Dallas every now and then for like the important meetings. And
Right.
My dad, he held down the fort back here in California with my grandma and the other kids, and you know their teamwork and taking care of the family because my siblings were still in high school. Well, some of them were, and my mom being in Texas, having to deal with me, like they made it work, and then 7-Eleven made it a lot easier for our family and for myself in recovery. I mean, it really worked out full circle with everything just lining up in the way that it needed to be for myself to recover.
Well, just for that, I will fucking just make sure I stop at a 7-Eleven every chance I get, just for the simple fact that they, took care of you through your mom, and stuff like that.
And
That to
they
me,
donated a couple $100,000 to Operation Mend at UCLA
wow,
for their surgical and PTSD TVI treatment
right.
program. So, I mean, they've done a lot for the veteran community even before
I
myself.
didn't
They
even know
always
that.
were dabbling in stuff, but
You think they can
yeah,
fix this?
Yeah,
nobody can fix that.
I didn't even know that, man. I didn't know that about
Alcohol,
7-Eleven.
maybe.
Yeah,
Hey,
to
that's why I go
the
to your
only thing
house.
the only thing I know about 7-Eleven is that, there's usually some dude from Bangladesh that owns it, and stuff like that, has a franchise. That's about it. I didn't know that they were getting down like that, helping veteran organizations and whatnot, and helping veterans in general.
Yeah,
Learn
they get
something new.
involved as much as they
Learn
can.
something new every day, man.
They're highly involved with the veteran community, and they, like I said, they were even involved before myself. They got more involved once I got hurt, and uh, one of their employees, family members, like had to experience this, and then I went up to 7-Eleven headquarters and I met Joe DePinto and a bunch of their big wigs, and I put the face to where their money's going, and it just kind of it helps motivate, inspire, and encourage other potential donors to see visually where their money's going and what it's doing. Because there's a lot of organizations you don't know where the money's going or what it's doing or how much
Yeah.
they actually put into the organization compared to their own pockets. And uh,
Uh, I'd love
that's
to.
my words and my showings of what they are doing. If that can help keep the program alive for the future uh, combat injured veterans, because America's history, we're going to jump into something again, and these
Oh
veterans,
yeah.
they have now a great hospital in San Antonio, and they have a great nonprofit organization for after the hospital in UCLA with Operation Mend.
One of the things that comes out of every war, okay, believe it or not, is the advancement of medicine. The things that come out, the types of treatments. For instance, in Vietnam, the amount of things that came out for cardiology in general, everything from heart surgeries to you name it. Okay, advanced medicine in the United States. That is one thing about wars. Medicine changes very, very fast. And with the catastrophic injuries, okay, that many of of our men and women of the armed forces, suffered through the just everything came out of that in like a quick time, like very, very fast, especially with amputees and stuff like that, the burn treatments and whatnot, especially down at Brook. And my understanding is, they're actually doing things with civilians there too, and
Oh,
stuff like that at
absolutely,
Brook
yeah.
now. Yeah, it's not just a military. Well, I mean, it's a military, but they actually have transitioned into taking care of civilians that have suffered catastrophically and stuff like that to come in and get their wounds healed to the best of their ability. The plastic surgery that has come out of it, yeah, it's we didn't lose a lot of people in a sense of like uh the way through attrition, but we had way more catastrophic injuries than any other war.
Well, it's
With
because
the
we
things that
were able to survive them with the advancements of medicine. Like myself, like I wouldn't have survived in Vietnam or World War II.
oh
Like
yeah, we would have bled out
they
fucking
just couldn't have been able to do what they did. And now like they're able to. You're visually seeing a lot of survivors that were catastrophically injured with amputations and burn scars. Um, and who knows what else they're going to advance in with technology coming up, because I from the time that I was in the hospital to the time or from 2007 till now, they are doing different things in plastic surgery that I'm actually going to be calling up Operation Mend and seeing if I can get another plastic surgery done in like April or May.
Really?
Right.
Just because I know they can
Really?
do something to tweak a little bit more to, functionality and cosmetically.
I
Oh,
don't think you need
that's
any more cosmetics. You're already pulling more girls than I do.
probably more than me.
No.
And probably both of us. Probably both of us combined, James.
I'm pulling this many.
Yeah. That's good, brother.
That's why I love you, Joey.
That's awesome. That's fucking great, man.
Oh, that,
Do you
was-
do
that was
do do
that
you,
was
do you
incredible.
do the do you do the when people are fucked up? You're like, how many fingers do you see with them and shit?
Oh, I mess with
Just
people
fuck with them.
all the time as much
It's
as
like
I can. As soon as they say something that I could throw a little pun in there or something, yeah, I
yeah.
do. I take advantage of the opportunities.
It's the way you get by, man. That's how we deal, man. It's through humor, and most of it fucking raunchy and crass. But that's how we deal. And some of the darkest shit that you would ever think about, that's how we deal. Especially like with the things that we've done and experienced. It wasn't fun at the time, and none of that shit was like, it was like, God damn it. But as time goes on, you will sit there and absolutely laugh at the shit that you've seen, did, happen to you, whatever it is. Okay. And people are looking at you like, and people who don't understand, like how can you laugh at that? Is like, how can I not?
Yeah.
I'm still
Well,
here. Fucking, I might have.
hindsight's 2020, as they
Yeah,
say. You know.
it's just like
In
seriously, how
bowling,
could I not?
in bowling, somebody next to me, they might throw the ball and whatever, and they'll come back like, "Oh fuck, dude, my finger got stuck in the hole or whatever," and I'll just look at them and be
What
like,
she
"Are
said.
you really complaining about your fingers right now?
And
You just got to throw
then they
something
fucking
out
like,
there."
oh shit, oh
Throw,
shit, oh shit.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah, that
You just shame,
and it's like,
shame.
oh, you just put it up like this.
Uh,
You're complaining. Yeah, it's like you're really complaining about your fingers. Just make people feel like absolute dog shit. And then you gotta fucking then when they do, you gotta like, I'm joking with you, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh
It's
no,
like,
I just
don't
let
take
it
it
be.
serious. Yeah, it's like
I
don't
let
take
it
it
be to see
serious.
their reaction, and if their reaction's like, I just, I just, I just walk away. I'm not gonna cope their, sentimental needs. Like if I made the joke, you shouldn't be offended or feeling bad. Like,
Yeah.
laugh if I'm laughing.
Yeah, so you know what it is though? It's just like some people they don't understand, man. And they don't understand that you're like, hey man, it's okay. Like I'm laughing about it. It is okay to laugh with me. Laugh at the fucking joke. I made the joke so that you can laugh because they
yeah.
don't get that it's actually you're trying to break the ice with them, so that
Yeah.
you don't have to
No,
be
they
a
get
certain way
scared.
around it. Yeah,
They
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 get
get
Oh,
scared. It's
the
like
scared.
biggest one I love is people. They tend to forget when they ask me how many I want something. So I'll just be
yeah.
like, "Yo, I want this much." They're like, "You just gotta laugh. You gotta have some
Hi,
fun with it."
conservative K.
Kai,
What's
conservative
up,
Kate, thank
Caleb?
you very much for the follow. We absolutely appreciate it. Um, thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in with us. If you're just tuning in, we got thanks for the follow, Kush Genie. Appreciate that. If you're just tuning in, we got Joey Polk with us tonight. He's a good friend
Howdy.
of the girl dad, and he's on here. He told his story, and um, if you're just tuning in, please go back and start from the beginning. It is a story that you want to hear. It is very worth it. He's full of energy. He's full of life. He hasn't let what happened to him um, with his sacrifice, because he's sacrificed a lot. Okay, stop him from being who he is, and it is a lesson
Right.
that a lot of people can learn in life from a guy like Joey. So
He's always
please make sure you go back.
He's always standing 10 fingers down. You know.
Yeah. Well.
Well, those things like we were talking about earlier, hobbies and what am I going to do next? Like one of the first things, like I didn't even think about it until somebody pointed it out. But given my situation, I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick up soccer.
Yeah.
I still got my feet, I got my legs, I could run around, I could kick, and
Yeah.
at minimally, when I'm on the field, you're not going to call hands on me. So
Exactly.
Where's Genie? Another veteran, right on.
That's a good one, Joey. I like that one.
Yeah, that is good, man.
Oh.
I mean, you can always fucking try out to be a goalie.
right?
You
Now,
don't
because
need
when I
hands for that.
dive, that extra like 2 to 3 inches that comes into play. I might miss.
It does. You
Oh,
should do that, Joey. You should absolutely do that. Get on the soccer field and say, "I want to be your new goalie." You should fucking do that.
100%.
It's just 100%.
100% do it.
They would absolutely nobody would know what to say to you.
Hey,
You should just
so
fucking
no
do it.
joke. Hey, my very first joke I ever made about my situation, I was in San Antonio. I was on the Riverwalk, and they have a wax museum of celebrities. So we went through that with my family. It was nice. It was cool. At the end of it, you could dip your hand in a wax bowl, and they'll take a molding of your situation. It was $20. I asked them if I could get half
Pop
off.
off. Yeah.
That's fucking great,
That
man.
that right there, that let my
Fucking love
family know like I'm gonna be okay with this as
Oh.
soon
That
as
you
I
were
made
all
that
right.
joke.
That you were good to go.
Yeah, because I mean I was still more or less in the hospital figuring this whole thing out, but I don't know. There's something came above me to enlighten me of this great
Oh
joke
man,
opportunity.
Okay, you half
that is
off.
absolutely incredible. Fucking love it, man. Absolutely love it. That's the way you got to be, man. That
Yeah.
is the way we are. That is the
Yeah,
absolute.
he still
It's
plays
fucking
softball.
awesome.
He just can't catch the ball.
All right, pinch
Yeah,
run. You run on the bases.
you just pinch run for people.
That's all he does. Yeah.
Do you slide head first?
He's amazing at dodge or at kickball though. You know,
Yeah, I can imagine. Right. Well,
kickball's
like I
his
said, I'm
jam.
telling you, Joey, if you get on a soccer field to play for some fucking co-ed league or whatever and shit like that, I'm telling you, bro, you gotta show up, man. You gotta show up with the outfit. You gotta have the pants, the big blue aqua gay shirt that fucking is different than everybody else's and stuff like that. And fucking come out. And what you do is you come out with the goalie gloves with the fingers, and then you just fucking let them
Just
flap
flap 'em.
and just let them flap. Like I want to be your goalie. I want to be your goalie.
I do that when I go
No,
snowboarding.
he
I
gets
wear
the
the
foam
mitt
hands.
and my
He can get the
thumb.
foam
I'll
hands.
extend my
Big
thumb.
foam hands.
The big foam hands, bro. Next time we go to a Potter's game, I'm buying the foam hand for you.
Oh
Oh
man,
hell
that's
yeah!
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That is freaking great,
Then
man.
you'll know how it feels again.
No, won't be. It's
Uh,
not quite the same.
It's not quite.
I just and you got to we need video of that shit too. I'm telling you, you got to do it. Just you got to come up in the outfit, and you have to make sure you have that big fucking aqua gay shirt that they color fucking on and stuff like that, and you
Oh
have to do
god.
it.
Get the super high soccer shorts showing all
Yeah.
leg.
Yes. So just all
Just
fucking
like
nut hugging,
completely
just like
80s
yeah,
down, dude.
just nut hug the fuck out of it and stuff like that.
Oh.
And you got to have some
And
fucking
you gotta
some
get those fake nuts that'll hang out, you know.
yeah.
Oh, dude, when I was in
And you got to
when
get
I
the
was in
old
Afghanistan, I asked my platoon sergeant if I could get a set of truck nuts to hang from my Humvee.
Yeah. And
He was not happy with that.
man,
some people
you know,
just need to get a sense of humor. I mean, you're in a shitty area. Might as well make the best of it. Come on.
Right?
yeah,
You know
what
what I
it is,
mean?
man.
Like, come on.
It just it eventually got crazy, but in the time that time frame that Joey and I were in country, him in Afghanistan and me in Iraq from from like 2003, I want to say, to about 2008 actually. It was like still the wild fucking west, okay, out there for us. The rules of engagement was if it looked like it needs to be destroyed, destroy it. Don't fucking won't. And then what happened after fucking 2008? The divider in chief got elected, and freaking, it was a wrap after that. The rules of engagement went fucking right off the hill, okay,
Out the
and
door.
stuff like that. And yeah, so it was very different. It was the Wild West out in Iraq and Afghanistan, man, from fucking 2003 to 2008.
For sure.
We were able to actually protect ourselves, and we suffered, like I said, catastrophic stuff, our units and whatnot. But like I said, my battalion overall was very fortunate as a whole. We only lost 3 people. Three too many, obviously, but like we only lost 3 people. One of them being my platoon mates.
No. The black guy you were telling me about, right?
Yeah, Akintati.
Yep. Yep.
Good
You're
fucking
showing.
dude,
You're
man.
telling me about that
Yeah,
guy.
great dude, man. He was from Nigeria. He got his citizenship right before we left, I believe. Um, and I remember we were sitting up on we weren't doing QRF because we would rotate with the other platoons in the company and whatnot. When we weren't doing QRF and Kazivac, because we actually did both, we were doing fucking, guard duty up at the front gate. We had an OP. Eventually, they took the OP from us, and they gave it to one of the other companies who was actually just it was the headquarters company would actually do the what do you call it security on the base except for the front gate. Um, well, we were sitting up at the OP because we the base our fob we were actually at an old ammunition supply point, Iraqi ASP, and we turned all the bunkers into fucking essentially Quonset huts. It was bunkers, and we just turned them all into squad base. Okay, and we made a gym out of one of them. On we did everything with it, and our one of the OPs was actually on the top of our bunker, and we were both him and I was sitting up there, and I was bitching about something. I don't remember what the fuck I was complaining about. And he just looked at me and he was just like, and I said, "Why are you even here, man?" I was like, "You didn't even have to be here. You had like a fucking six-figure job. You had you had an out. He actually had an out, but he decided, he was coming anyway." And he's like, "I come from a country where they kill Christians, where they do it because he was Christian and stuff like that." Um, he goes, "If I
And
can give
Nigeria is
anybody,
fucking insane.
yeah." He was like, "If I can give anybody freedom that my family didn't have before we came to the United States," he goes, "That's what I'm here for." Whether we did that in the long run, regardless, but it just kind of set my focus back after hearing him say that and whatnot. It just like I was like, I got nothing to bitch about because he started getting into his life in Nigeria, and I was like, yeah, I got nothing to complain about. I was like, I got nothing to complain. I was like, all right, you win, bro. I was like, you fucking win, man. I'll
Right?
stop being a little bitch, But it did refocus me, with the conversation we had and stuff like that, and just put me back on track to make sure that I made it home. That was my mission. Is like I gotta fucking come home no matter what, you know. And it was tough times, man. If you remember back then, from like 2004, like I said, 2003 to 2008, if you got captured or something like that, you were worried about getting your fucking head cut off on a video, okay, blasted on Facebook and whatever
Be right
social
back. One
media we
second.
had and on the news.
Yep,
Some of us like me.
a few of the guys in my unit that had already been to Iraq,
Hmm.
when we were going to Afghanistan, they're like, dude, keep an extra 9mm bullet somewhere so that if we get overrun and we're out of ammo, we're on black status, don't let them
Yep.
capture you.
Yep. I actually. It's funny you say that. I had a 5.56 in my left pocket. I had one round in my pocket. When
Just
I
in
told my
case.
dad that, my dad was like, "What?" And but he understood. I was like, there was no fucking way you guys were gonna see them,
No,
cutting my head off on a fucking TV
hell no.
somewhere. Okay, you were
Nope.
not. I was gonna make sure that I offed myself if it came to that, and obviously they were gonna do whatever they did afterwards, but just know that they weren't gonna be the ones that actually took my life. And so it's funny you say that because we used to do that in the infantry too. I had a 5.56 round in my left breast pocket just in case we were in some shit and we got overrun and we went black and it was about time. It was about that time where we are just gonna we're all gonna bite it. I was like, yeah, I was like, they're not taking me to fucking do nefarious things to me. And
Unspeakable things.
yeah, yeah, Kush Genie, you were in. So I was in 2003 to 2007. Crazy era for a lot of reasons. Absolutely. Right on.
That was their strong offensive learning abilities and how to fuck us up.
Yeah. With help from the Iranians who were fucking sending them all the bomb making materials.
Oh, and Pakistan. That's what the beginning of my like first 6 7 weeks in Afghanistan. I was doing border patrol right along the Pakistan border because they would come fuck us up and do their due diligence and then run back to
Run
Pakistan
right
where
over
we
the
couldn't
border to
chase them.
Pakistan where we couldn't get them. Yeah. I
Yep, so
know.
we try to intercept them either one way or another, but fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, man. They learned very quickly. I tell people all the time that there were some true believers in all of that, okay? that wanted to do fucking harm and were willing to do anything to do harm. Most of them were pussies. Once you caught them, if you caught them, they fucking cried like the little bitches that they are. All right, but they were true believers, and people need to understand that. All right, that were dedicated to fucking, doing what it is they had to do. And like I said, in Iraq, we were, most of the IEDs were all being made with Iranian parts. And contrary to what people believe, okay, there were weapons of mass destructions in Iraq. It was all older shit, okay, and you know, I remember fucking specifically because we actually had to sit on that. It was some sarin gas, some fucking howitzer rounds, uh, what do you call it, sarin gas and shit like that, and we had to sit on that while we were waiting for NBC teams to come pick it up so they can go fucking destroy it. And I remember when I got home, they were interviewing Nancy Pelosi, that fucking cunt, okay, and
I hate
they
her.
actually mentioned that. Forgot who it was. It was a reporter, I think, from Fox, who says, "Well, I know that you guys keep saying there are no weapons of mass destruction, but what about this?" And it was the time that we were there. She was like, "Well, that was all old, degraded stuff." As if that shit couldn't kill us. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the fucking mentality. So there weren't any new things that we found. I can't recall us ever finding any new WMD, but there was plenty of old shit that we came across. I mean, I'm talking about bunkers of this shit, right? And like for years, like we were disposing of this. Our NBC teams, not only ours, the Germans. I want to say the Germans, and I think the Australians helped out with that too and stuff. Even just being, let's see, Cushchini says, even just being in during those years was wild. Toby Keith, the Yellow Ribbons, the ramp up. Yeah. We
I love
actually
to
had we actually had fucking James Gandolfini and the fucking who else? There's a couple of other Sopranos people that came out to us and stayed on our fob and whatnot on the way to LSA Anaconda. They stopped at our fob because, like I said, we were south of LSA Anaconda in Iraq. That's where our fob was at by the back gate. It's like a couple of miles down the road. And they stopped at our fob and fucking, what do you call it? Then we took them to LSA Anaconda. It was crazy.
Gandolfini came and visited a bunch of us wounded ones in the hospital.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
he's
we
a good
actually
guy.
we actually had some. I forgot what WWE people came out to us too. Had some WWE people came out, and then remember when they literally, bro. So LSA Anaconda was I forgot what it's called, what air base it's called now in Iraq. It was actually always that name, but we took it over and renamed it, and they would get mortar fire all the time. There was always fucking mortar attacks on there, but they literally opened up the pool at uh at this base, and it was crazy. Kush Genie says Miranda Lambert played a concert at Fort Benning when I was in basic. No idea who the hell she was, but I got to eat some pizza and it was great. It's always good. That is always good. Like
Especially at
anytime you
that
get a
time where
little
you can't
life.
eat that.
Yeah,
Yep.
anytime you get a little life, okay, a little taste of life, man. Unfortunately, when I did basic, okay, well, unfortunately, and fortunately, Scoob, what is going on? Good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a minute, bro. I know YouTube, every time you try to freaking say something, YouTube keeps fucking with you in the chats, man. They got shit on lock over there, LoopTube. Just so you know, we're going to Rumble, brother, next year. And we're only going to probably just post clips of the different shows on LoopTube, and we're going to just be doing the lives on Rumbles because that's where it's at. That's where we're growing and whatnot. But that's funny, man. Yeah, bro, they literally opened up a pool. I'll never forget that. They opened up the pool. It was like right towards the end as we were leaving, so like it didn't make a difference. But the DFAC over there, bro, was insane, man. The Air Force fucking DFAC was insane. Like they
Oh,
just
I
had
bet.
all the great food. Anytime we got a chance where we did a mission where we could stop to eat there, we fucking stopped. My platoon leader was like, "We're stopping at we're stopping at Anaconda. We're eating at Anaconda tonight." And we would stop there to fucking eat and stuff like that. And one night we walked in there, it was literally steak and lobster, bro. It was fucking ridiculous.
Well, yeah, if it's not to their standard, they get extra money for it.
Yeah, I know, man. The chair
Even though we
force,
don't, we
bro.
don't get extra money, and we're living in the same quarters, eating the same food, doing the same thing. We don't get extra money for
Nah.
substandard living.
Yeah, not even remotely, bro. We get fucking mermites sent out to us and shit like that to eat powdered watery fucking eggs in the morning and stuff like that, bro.
Horrible. Those powder
It's
eggs were.
fucking
I didn't even eat the powder eggs. I
absolutely
just
worse.
loaded up on some sausage and some syrup or some peanut butter.
Yeah, bro. But or they
I
would
know you like
fucking
peanut butter. That's why you have Leroy.
When you're
and
around,
they would give us freaking,
Ooh, don't tempt me with a good time.
it's good to see you, Scoob. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, man. But that defect was the bomb. They had ice cream. They like it was that, and then there was another place that we ate too. Taji in Iraq had a pretty good chow hall too, and you could get like some good stuff there as well. Yeah, yes, cowgirl. We are absolutely headed to Rumble in the new year, like full time. Oh, Rogue Nina's like James.
What?
so
Yeah,
what?
can't see
Nina-
the emojis, dude. Hold on, let me see if I can see them over here.
yeah. So what do you got going on now? Well, we've
I
talked
still
about
can't see the
everything
emojis.
that led up to this. Yeah. How can you not see it? They're up on the. You should see it in the chat in the studio.
Well, I have the thing open. I had it full screen.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Well, what I say? I don't know what I said.
So what are you doing now, Joey?
Living his life.
Yeah, I know, Joey. What do you got going now? Like, what is like your like right now in fucking real time? What have you been up to? We've talked about everything that has led to this point.
Right now, just enjoying and embracing the love of football that I have, and doing a little bit of rock fishing out in the ocean right now. It's not very fun. They don't fight or do anything
Mm-hmm.
exciting like the tunas or the dorado, but they're really
Yeah,
good white flaky meat for tacos and stuff like that. So
yeah,
the meat is worth the catch, but the fight and the fun not really. So we go out there every so often just to get some meat to barbecue or whatnot and
He
get on
also
the
goes
ocean because like we were
lobstering.
saying there's no bad days and then yeah
right.
right now is also lobster season, so I try to hit that up once or twice a month until middle of March where
And
I hope to
you got your
have
own traps.
yeah I got my own trouts, got my own boat, got everything. But we just go
That's
out there and I
awesome.
try to load up and I try to have some lobster like every other week throughout the season, but I like to end the season with at least 20 or 30 tails in my freezer so that come summertime, could pair them up with the tuna and the yellowtail. And we can
Right,
make a big like surf and turf sort of thing with some steaks.
right. That's fucking awesome. That's great shit,
Yeah.
man. That's
Yeah.
the life,
I like
man.
to bring people together, have parties, for one reason or another. I like to have people over here.
At some point, when hopefully I'm making big boy money, I could fucking take a trip out there to come hang out with you and
All
James,
you need
man.
is a
Oh
plane
yeah.
ticket. I got plenty
Yeah,
of guest rooms and I'll take you on the boat, no problem.
that he does. All you need is a plane
Yeah,
ticket, Eric.
yeah. And have you seen the
When you
price
get
of a
that
plane
Rumble
ticket,
money up,
motherfucker? If I ever want to take a trip out to California, fucking with the prices right now, I'll have to fucking fly with the chickens.
you know,
Chicken heads.
what you need to do is find a flight attendant girlfriend so you can
Yeah,
get on her like extra buddy pass.
right, right. And also, you know what
That's
else
the
I'll be
move right
on?
there.
I'll be on her trail of STDs that she caught in every fucking port that she went to. Yeah,
I didn't say you
no,
had to
Right?
sleep with her. All
yeah.
right, I just said you had to get on the
What's the
buddy
point of
pass.
having a girlfriend, fucking, if you're not gonna sleep with her, man?
Free flights.
Yeah, okay, right. Like that'll last a long time. Not fucking banging your chick.
Hey,
That's not
it'll at
that
least
can be fun
last for
anyway.
one flight. Okay,
Yeah, you just need one flight.
that's it.
Yeah, she's gonna want some fucking compensation prior to.
Better double bag it.
Scoob, go pick up them catalytic converters, man. You have a fucking Merry Christmas, brother, and a Happy New Year. Love you, man. Haven't seen you in a while. I know you got your own thing going, man. Please stop by. Just wanted to let you know, brother, that next year it'll be full steam on Rumble only with the
Scoob,
lives, man.
I hope that's at junkyards that you're doing that.
Yeah, I can't do LoopTube anymore. I'm just gonna do clips, like I said, and put them on LoopTube and direct everybody back to Rumble at the end of each video.
I think
Um,
that's the smart way to do it, to be honest.
because like Rumble is where we're growing and whatnot. We got 15 Patriots hanging with us. We usually can see the number on the screen, but fucking it's not there.
So
Um,
the little green guy right there, normally it'll have a number.
yeah,
But
the little
Rumble's
green
been
Dorito, there's
acting
usually
up.
a number. Yeah, Rumble's been stupid. They had a whole bunch of issues on Monday. The chat didn't even come up on Monday, so I had to
No.
pull up a separate page. I went out and got a fucking extension for my laptop, and I got 2 monitors. I got 3 monitors now, so now I'm gonna fucking game. I got my gaming set up, which I'm testing out tomorrow, guys. I forgot to let you guys know on Rumble. Jonathan dropped the link for Brig the Worst Gamer. Make sure you put that in for me, please. Okay, and I'll be on there probably about 5 p.m. I'll be hanging out from like 5 to 8:30, 8:45, testing out, testing shit out and whatnot. And then I'm gonna be on Joey Canoli's channel with him at 9 p.m. probably for about an hour or two and whatnot. So yeah, that's what's going on. I've got everything fucking set up finally. Bro, I even downloaded Jonathan. You'll be happy for me. You know I'm a noob with all this shit. You're gonna be proud of me, bro. I downloaded fucking Steam Deck Mobile, put it on my phone, and I can control shit in Meld now and everything, and not have to worry about it affecting my game. I figured it out on my own, bro. On my own. So you know what I get, man, for figuring that shit out on my own. I gotta give myself my own shit, man. Okay.
How do we stream games together? Because I have my camera and gaming rig already. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, that shouldn't be a problem. Fucking,
Yeah.
like, we just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
So, this is what I get. Because I figured it out by myself. I was bugging the shit out of people and didn't really get much fucking response because, like, people
Joey, I
have
love you.
lives. They don't have time to fucking take care of me.
Good job, Eric!
Being the fucking retarded noob that I am, okay, I actually figured it out. So, I guess we'll have to. That's the next thing, by the way. I have to figure out the Discord thing so that I can game with other people. So, like, I'm like, I can speak to you on Discord without a problem. That's
Yeah.
fucking easy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
easy. You know, we'll do some like FPS, like old school FPS games or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna my first run, like I said, I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to fucking Star Wars: The Old Republic. I'm gonna create a new
I told you I
character
was
from
gonna download that.
Yeah. I'm gonna start with that. That's gonna be I got that downloaded. I got Company of Heroes I want to play. We can actually multiplayer with Company of Heroes, bro.
That sounds
I'm
fun.
pretty
Actually,
sure we can.
Joey's down for video games, right, Joey?
Oh yeah, I can press all the buttons.
What's your favorite console to play with? Like, do you have like good control of it?
He plays with his feet.
Actually,
He plays with his
the old
toes.
school games like Nintendo and Super Nintendo, I just get the arcade controller with the
Yeah.
joystick and the big buttons.
Yeah.
Dude, I mash on Donkey Kong and Super Mario Bros. Let's go.
He actually has
Right
a Marvel vs. Capcom in his garage.
Oh, no
Actual,
shit.
you know,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
that
pretty
was in
dope.
the arcade.
Pretty sick.
Everybody's like, "Oh, you can't play." I'm like, "Bet, come here, challenge accepted."
Bro, Joey's constantly Cowgirl. We absolutely love you. Thank you for the kudos. Cowgirl says this podcast is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
We try our best. You guys know how we do. We make jokes, we laugh, we stay on topic for a little bit, we go off and talk about other shit, and then we always come back. Yeah, bro, I'm trying to actually do a run. If you still have it, man, we should fucking play together. I'm gonna stream it on Rumble.
What
We
was
should
that
play
game
together.
What was that game you said, Eric? The
The second one, Company Heroes.
Company Heroes. What's that on?
What
Company of
console do you
Heroes.
guys play on?
I play on my
Computers.
laptop, but I don't have a console right now. My consoles are in the fucking garage. I want a PS5 though, but in order for me to stream them, I need a capture card and whatnot. But so for right now, I'm doing shit on my laptop out of Steam. But Jonathan, bro, I'm trying to get a crew together so we can like I'm gonna tank, but I want someone to DPS. We need a healer. You know what I'm saying?
Are we talking
Like
about Star Wars?
Yeah,
I'll be DPS.
yeah. I'm gonna tank for sure. I always tank. We need
Love
a
the
healer. Huh?
James loves
What'd you
DP.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
I
James
do.
definitely loves DP.
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. Jonathan says he
Just
plays
throw an
heels
S in
almost
there, and
exclusively.
then you'll be right.
All right, so we got me, James, Jonathan. If you want to fucking chill with us, so I'm gonna be testing it tomorrow with one of my older characters. So I'm not gonna when we're ready to actually start a run. We're probably gonna start that next week if you have time. You just gotta let me know when you have time. I'm gonna play on Tuesday, Thursdays, and probably Sundays. So whatever days I know you're in your overtime and stuff like that for the holidays, Jonathan. So when you're ready, we can what do you call it, go starting next year if you want. That way get through the holidays and shit. Um, that way we can put a team together. And I think Alistar said he wanted to play with us too, James.
Oh, did he? Oh, he did. I
Yeah.
think he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can just get a crew together, like 4 or 5 people, and just fucking, you know, and actually play the game and let people see it and have a good time and fucking roast us for doing dumb shit and everything while we're playing and stuff, you know. So,
You can play on all
uh,
different consoles with that.
I
uh,
think Old Republic's on consoles. Yeah.
I think you can actually play Star Wars: The Old Republic on a console.
Yeah. It's a free to download, but it's like $15 a month because it's
Yeah.
kind of like World of Warcraft.
Well, actually, like I pay annual, so it's like 80 something dollars or whatever I pay that, and I don't have to worry for the whole fucking year.
Yeah.
Um, That's another thing I have to do. I got to download World of Warcraft because that's like a specific thing. You can't get that on Steam. You got to go through Blizzard in
Hmm.
order to
So
get
you
that.
play
Are you?
Diablo?
Wait, you're gonna play
I
WoW
ha-
too, Eric?
what's that?
You're gonna play WoW?
I am at some point. I want to like people have been telling me to fucking play it for years now,
Dude,
definitely over a decade.
TBC's coming out on January 13th. If you want to join us, we have
See,
a big group of guys.
I as well, fucking I'll let you hang with the sausage fest, but you know,
No, well, it's like
I know what you
veterans
mean
and
though.
a bunch of people.
I
Dude, it's
got you,
fucking
man.
whatever. You just don't love me.
Just fucking with you, man.
I'm
Um
gonna go cry.
You know what it
Just
is? I
joke.
played the original Warcraft games, man, and loved them.
Yeah.
Warcraft 3 was my favorite, So like people like you got to play World of Warcraft if you like the originals. They got some great stories and stuff like that. There is a campaign you can play with other people. Like any fucking multiplayer, there's a campaign that you could just play with other people. So like, if you just go through the same thing. That's one of the things I liked about Star Wars The Old Republic is that everybody can start together and they just have different missions and we could just help each other fucking, run through them and stuff like that. And they've changed the whole experience thing. It used to be where you wouldn't get that much experience if you were, now they changed it all. That's why I said if we start from scratch, everybody will kind of like equal out as they go and stuff like that and just come
Yep.
together and play on a certain day. So, Jonathan, if you want to be our healer, bro, we'll absolutely fucking love to run it with you and whatnot. So Rognina asks a question for you, brother. This for you, Joey. She says, "Can I ask if Joey's in pain? I hope he is pain free."
Yeah, no, I'm good. Fortunately, all my injuries were just from the fire, and then the amputees only happened because they got an infection and it was spreading. But no, my skeletal, neurological, and tendon, ligament, all that stuff, I'm good. No pain meds. Even when I was in the hospital, I woke up and fortunately, most of my skin grafts were already healing, and my amputations had already begun to heal, and really wasn't in any pain other than right after surgeries for a couple of days, and then kind of backed off of the pain meds just because meeting a lot of the other veterans and being an MP and understanding what narcotics can do to you and how addicting they can be. Um,
Right.
I didn't really want to get on that train. Never was a big drug person, and my mom also, she was a big whisper in my ear to not take what isn't needed sort of
Right.
thinking. And uh I'm happy that she gave me that sort of mentality and discipline, because I saw a lot of veterans that just loaded up on the pills because that's what the military was doing, was just feeding us
Right.
pills, and
Bro.
then they have to go through detox, and I saw how horrible they were going and living with detox, and I was like, I don't want to go down that road. So
Absolutely insane.
fortunately I
Fucking like
never
they
had
did.
to take pain pills, and I'm good to go other than being 40.
I'll actually be 52 on Sunday.
Hey, happy early birthday.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely be gaming on Sunday for sure on my birthday because like I don't got anything else to do.
What's your birthday? You do
So
what you want to do.
yeah, yeah. I just fucking I'm like 3.5, 4 hours away from family. Um, I'm usually my old job. I would literally be because I was able to work because I work from home. My older job actually was like I could do work wireless. This new one I'm at, I have to have a hard fucking connection. They don't want us doing shit wireless and stuff like that. But my older job, I would literally go up there and be spending like the whole holidays through with my family and stuff like that, and because I could just work from there and whatnot. But can't do that with this new job. I'm actually fucking probably hopefully found a better job too that's going to be paying me more. I got an interview on Tuesday.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Uh, so
Congrats, buddy.
uh, it won't be working from home anymore, but it's all good.
That'd be all right.
It's really all good as long as I'm making more money. I don't care. As long as like if it turns out where my schedule is, what I'm looking for, it kind of seems like it is, where it won't affect any of all of this shit that we're doing and stuff like that. Because like I'm not gonna give this up. I absolutely enjoy doing this. This shit is therapeutic for me, and just meeting new people and talking. So, like I said, I'll find out on Tuesday what my schedule's. It's just like I said, better paying and whatnot. All right, guys. Usually, Cass is usually here at this point and gives me a fucking heads up of who to raid and whatnot because we're getting ready to get out of here. Let me see now. She's doing good. She's got like 148. We've done handy news, beyond the noise. Let me find out how long they're going. Uh, I think they're gonna finish up around the same time as we do. Joey, if you could hang out for just a little bit when we get out of here, I just want to kind of talk to you a little bit more,
Sure.
brother. But go ahead. While I'm setting this raid up, fucking James, do your plugs.
The Girl Dad official on everything except for X, which is the Girl Dad OFC.
Right.
That's it. I'll go to my link in bio, buy a Heartbeat brand hat.
So
Help pay my bills.
okay, they're fucking cutting off at 10 like I do. So all right, we're not gonna I want to raid them because they're our friends and stuff, but if they're getting off the same time I do, we're not. Joey, go ahead and do some plugs, brother.
I don't do this. I don't have no plugs.
Come on, man. You got to plug your organizations. Do whatever you have to, bro.
Operation Mend.
All right, yeah, shit. You said it. Operation
I didn't know
Men.
about that, so I'm gonna go back and make sure. By the way, his links are in the description, for Instagram, his Insta page and Threads. But fucking, feel free. By the way, Joey, to I don't know if you got Rumble open, to drop the link in the. Let's fuck that. Hang on, I'm gonna do that right now.
I
Operation
have
Mend,
any
you
of it.
said.
Yeah, Operation Mend. MEND. They take any and all Iraq,
Yep.
Afghanistan veterans, combat or training injuries, PTSD, TBI, anything surgical. It's all free wherever you are. They fly you out to UCLA. They pick you up at the airport. They put you in a hotel for free. They take you to all of your appointments, so you're never lost, wondering where you got to go, what you got to do, who you got to meet. All the medications for free. Once you leave and go back home, they really stay in touch with you, make sure everything's going all right, make sure things going copacetic. Um, I haven't done the TBI or PTSD program. I was on the surgical side, but I've heard nothing but great things about it. One of my gunners that I served with in Afghanistan, he has really bad PTSD and TBI, and they're treating him. And him and his family have told me nothing but amazing stories that they just never could have believed the life that they have now, thanks to Operation Men and what they've done for him specifically. That's rolled over into the family aspect. So more power to Operation Men for not just treating the surgical side, but treating the brain and the emotions and the connections to the family and the new world that we live in with the way that we are. And if you're struggling, reach out to Operation Men. It's a wonderful program. It's completely free, and it's worth your time if you're struggling in any sort of physical or mental way.
Well, I agree with you 100%, man. On my posts on Instagram every day, what do you call it? I post some information for veterans and stuff like that, to veterans hotline and stuff like that, so that they can reach out, man. If you're struggling, 100%, don't struggle alone. You don't have to struggle alone. I'm constantly telling people you don't have to. You just do not stay in the fight. No, don't give up. We got your six always. You know what I'm saying? Like you just do not. You do not have to fucking fight it alone, ever. So please don't. So listen to what he's saying. I dropped the links in both chats. So if you guys want to pop those up and save them and whatnot, put them in your favorites. That way you can come back and read them. We are going to be rating the Whiskey Captain tonight. I believe that's what I got. Yeah. So I haven't rated him in quite some time. Actually, probably about a week or two. We have on Friday, it's supposed to be mostly peaceful Latinas. I don't know. I think that's going to fall through and it's just going to be Scott and I. That's fine. Saturday is a Salty Dog Show, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then from 8 p.m. on, we have Die Hard movie night, guys, on the Discord. Make sure you guys are freaking tuning in and whatnot. We got to make sure that we get in. Listen, a lot of people voted, so I hope you're all going to be hanging with us. And then on Sunday, I am going to do a birthday stream. I'm probably going to be gaming, and just doing my own thing and whatnot, and hanging. Just because I got to get the hours in. So you guys know on December 22nd is the last Break the Machine of the year. And then the last Warrior Wednesday is going to be the 24th. Christmas Eve, because I'm not traveling until the morning of Christmas Day and whatnot. So, but I got my new tires, by the way, James.
Hey, I love
I
that.
fucking finally did my tires. and stuff
Finally,
like
dude.
that.
I'm
Brand new,
stoked on that.
beautiful tires.
Did you get your
Now I just
payout?
gotta. What's that?
Did you get that payout? Did it
That'll
go
be
through?
That'll be coming in. I did the payout. It takes about 8 days.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
get it. I'll be getting it probably on the weekend. It'll go through.
Nice.
So I'm good. But I get paid fucking on Friday too anyway. So everything is just kind of it's going in the right
Copacetic.
direction finally.
Everything's going copacetic.
Everything's going in the right direction. So yeah, fam, that's what we got going. On Monday, we have B Money's gonna come in. It's the crypto/financial show. He's gonna come in and he's gonna talk crypto and finances with us. I've been wanting to do a financial show for you all for a long time, so I'm kind of glad we got together. Again on Friday after our show, I'm gonna be on Third Railify. I will not be on B&B like I usually am. I might just hang out on Third Railify for probably about, I don't know, an hour, and then fucking close out with B&B because they're my boys over there and whatnot. So I don't know. We'll see. I've been invited to Third Railify, and Sean and Gina are just fantastic. So I don't know if I'm gonna dip out. I'll probably just stick 2 hours with them and finish at 12, like I usually do at Bourbon and Beer. So, but then everything should be good. And then next Friday, guys, is Scott's birthday. So I'm trying to get some people so we have a good fucking show for him. Next Wednesday is Break the Machine with Blondie and I. Like I said, Monday. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, guys, I'm going to be doing my gaming on the gaming channel and whatnot, and Sundays. At some point, I got to do some premium hours here. I just haven't figured out what I'm going to do so it doesn't affect you guys and you guys can actually see it. I have to do that shit late at night and stuff like that. So I could probably get that done late at night. We'll figure it out. Anyway, love you guys. Love all of you. You guys are fantastic. Joey, thanks for freaking coming to hang with us, telling your story. You
My
are the
pleasure.
absolute epitome of what hard charging is. I'm just, glad you're with us, man. I'm just glad, man. I'm glad we met, and just please stick around so we can just, chop it up a little bit more backstage and whatnot. All right, guys, we are headed over to the Whiskey Captain. I am the Big Red One Guy signing out. And remember that together and only together can we break the machine. God bless you all. God bless America, and have a great night. I will see you all on Friday night. Good night, fam.
Whoa!
There we go.